Great day. Welcome to today's episode of A Health Class You Never Had. I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. We are not medical doctors. We are health practitioners who have gotten our studies and certifications so that we could share with you the benefit of our studies to help you and empower you to make your own health choices as your holistic HMO. Now, our topic today is spring cleaning Chi style. And with us on the panel, we have Sister Ketnu Nefer, who is the owner of A Soulful Touch Wellness. Say hello, Sister Ketnu.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Sister Precious. I'm looking forward to discussing this much needed topic today, and let's get it started.
Yes. Thank you and welcome, Dr. U, owner of U360. Say hello to the people for us, Dr. U.
Peace, everyone. Looking forward to sharing on this topic as well. And this is the perfect time of year to get into talking about spring cleaning from a holistic standpoint. So looking forward to it.
Yes. So when we talk about holistically, we're looking at our physical self, we're looking at our spiritual selves, and we're also looking at our environment. So we're going to just get the topic started. I'm going to start today, instead of waiting till the end with a question, with the beginning as a question, because when you start spring cleaning, you start releasing. And I have a question. What is the difference between detoxing and fasting?
That's a great question. Basically, what I found is a lot of people use those two terms interchangeably, but there is a difference. So when you are fasting, well, let me back that up. When you're detoxing, you're basically assisting the body to eliminate toxins a lot more quicker than it normally does, because your body detoxes itself naturally, but there is a such thing as a medical detox. And so with that, you are assisting the body using different herbs and supplements and things like that, and apparatuses to help the body to eliminate the toxins a lot more quickly. But when you are doing a fast, you are eliminating nutrition most times and other things. So when we fast, you're not taking in a lot of nutrients, but when you detox, you could still eat foods and things like that. So people, like I said, they tend to use it interchangeably. And fasting actually is a great jump start because you're not ingesting a lot of nutrients and things like that. So that's why when people fast, most times they'll do a liquid fast or a juice fast where they're only consuming those things. So they're not eating actual foods per se, solid foods, I should say. And so this actually helps the body to work a lot quicker to eliminate the toxins out of the body.
Great. That's some good insight. I know growing up in church nationally, we fast every Tuesday and every Friday, but fasting was always about not eating food, and spending time. I think at noon, we would pray every day at noon. So it was like a collective thing where we fast. So when I think about our holistic selves and putting that together with the prayer, it's like it's an intent, that I would see with fast. But like you said, because it's so changed up a lot, we don't often think about that. When we're looking at detoxing, what are some health specifics to look at around detoxing? It's like, I know I did a sugar detox, and we did that for 31 days. And at some point, I felt like a junkie. I'm having tremors and shakes and things like that. So what are some things to look at or consider when we start our detoxes?
Well, first of all, detox is an umbrella term. And what I mean by that, there are many different ways to go about detoxing or promoting the detoxification of the body, of different areas of the body of focus. So you can focus on the liver, you can focus on the kidneys, you can focus on the brain. Many different ways you could go about doing it, and the protocols can differ slightly. But at the end of the day, the major thing is you want to make sure that you're consuming things that are going to be easy for the body to process and be able to promote elimination. Elimination is coming through those major organs, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, the lymphatic system, the intestinal tract. Those are kind of like your major organs of elimination. So, through that process, that um, gets rid of a lot of things that clog up your body systems and help it to flow more freely. Whenever the energy can flow well, the body can do what it's supposed to do more efficiently. Now, what you're referring to, with tremors and so many people experience different things in the process of detoxing that might be slightly uncomfortable. Doesn't happen with everybody, but we refer to that as the healing crisis.
Okay.
The healing crisis is the process that your body goes through as different toxins may be pulled out of areas where it may have been stored in and is circulating back through the bloodstream. And when that happens, sometimes the things that might be associated with that can cause discomforts in the body that are temporary until the body is able to eliminate those toxic substances. So with sugar, because sugar has such it can have an adverse effect on the nervous system. You can experience something like that, maybe jittery kind of feelings and things of that nature as it's being pulled out of those areas where it's stored. But as you continue to detox, usually that lasts for about maybe a day, 2 days, something like that, and then you feel a lot better after that. But the health benefits of sorry, I hit mute by accident. The health benefits of detoxing are so numerous. You know, for this time of year, especially a lot of people who may experience things like seasonal allergies, people who have like skin breakouts, pimples or acne on the skin or rashes or things of that nature. Um, People who have low energy levels, people who need more mental clarity, people who are struggling with different emotions, even, arthritic conditions of the body, constipation, people who are looking to lose weight, like they can all benefit from detoxing. And that's
Awesome.
just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. I remember, after a few days, not having the jitters so much. And the upside about that was I was in the process of losing a lot of weight. I was almost 400 pounds at one point, and I lost over 100 pounds in that time period, not really exercising per se, but just pulling away from sugar. And it was like amazing to me just how much was just losing, just making that change. But then tasting everything is like you would eat, it would just be so sweet. It was like not having that taste for it anymore after not doing it for a while, not having intentionally not eating sugar and trying to pick things that wasn't loaded in sugar. And if I had a crave for something sweet, going for a pineapple or going for strawberries, just so that I could get through that sweet, but putting healthy sugars in the body. So I think that becomes a piece too. When you are detoxing and we have these strong craves, what are some of the things that we could go to replace, that crave so that we don't just lose out on the detox altogether?
Well, if you're talking about sugars, you want to go to things that are natural sources of sugars. Things that are detoxing is about utilizing things that your body can handle and process well. So if it's sugar, you want to go to things like maybe fruits, raisins, pineapples, dates. These are some things. Bananas. They're not necessarily the all strong detoxing agents per se, but they can promote and help with the detoxing process and still kind of satisfy some of those cravings that you may experience. When it comes to other things that might be more like fatty food, fried foods, you might want to get things like seeds, nuts, avocados, healthy sources of fat, whatever that may be. So it just depends on what your body is looking for. If your body is looking for some of those things like potato chips and those crunchy kind of foods, you might want to go towards things that are natural sources of things that might have a bit of a crunch to it, or natural things that don't have like a lot of the same salt and blah blah blah, but it can still give you that feeling that you're looking for, or it can still give you the nutrients that your body needs, because ultimately a lot of cravings are based on nutrition or lack thereof. So if you're not getting certain nutrients, let's say if you're not getting enough potassium in your body, then your body might crave potatoes or potato chips and things like that, because it's such a high source of potassium. So the major thing is you want to substitute that, maybe other things like sweet potatoes, or something that can give your body the same thing, but not be as unhealthy of a choice.
Okay. It's interesting that you start talking about what we're craving, and I think it's important to kind of know what your body is saying to you when you're detoxing. 2 months ago, I went on a salt seeking, eating everything salt. I don't even like salt and vinegar potato chips as a whole, but all of a sudden I wanted salt, and I was eating salt and vinegar potato chips, and I'm buying big bags, and I'm like consuming salt. If I ate something, I wanted salt. My blood pressure went up, and it concerned me because I was leaning on my leg reading a book or something, and when I sat up, the indentation stayed in my leg. And usually, you get indentations sometimes, but they go away. That sucker sunk in and didn't come back. So now I'm drinking all of this water, but I'm still having all of this salt, and it did not restore itself. When I took my blood pressure and it was off the scales high, I talked to a doctor friend of mine, and she's like, "Yeah, so you're going to need medication to pull it back down." Well, I didn't go to medication. I just drank water and left the salt alone, and then I'm back to normal with my blood pressure. But what are the things that we need to know about our bodies that when we're having these craves, especially when we're trying to cleanse ourselves? What are some things to look at and think about? Some common effects.
Well, some of the common signs that you need to detox, period, I think we need to look at, because those give us the information that we're looking for. And I like to say our body has its own inner GPS, and when we don't look at that check engine light for ourselves, it could be skin rash, it could be bad breath, bad body odor. All of a sudden you like, oh, did I smell myself? And that's not normal. Those are signs that you need to detox. People dealing with insomnia, they may not think, oh, I need to detox. They may just say, oh, I'm stressed, or, it's been busy. But that's another sign that you may need to do a detox, because you have to think about your body systems all work together in tandem. So if there's one little thing that's off in the body, the other systems can't work efficiently in the way that they're supposed to. So those are the things. Doctor, you talked about the brain fog. A lot of people take that for granted. Oh, I just can't think clear. And they'll say things like that. Oh, I just can't think clear, or my memory is gone, or, I have a problem remembering stuff. But they don't think that that's a sign of needing to detox, because that's not normal. Those things should not be happening. And so when we look at what we're ingesting, especially when you talk about sugar, Sugar does hamper not only your immune system, but your thought capabilities and your rationality, your moods as well. And so that's one of the things. Those cravings are a sign that you need to detox, because again, it's saying that there's something off within the body, and it's normally a vitamin or a mineral, more likely than not. And so it's your body's way of saying, hey, I need this. It's just now that we need to make more educated and informed choices on the right things to ingest, so that the body gets those things and we're not overtaxing it like you did with the salt and vinegar potato chips. It was saying that was your body saying, I need sodium, but there's other natural ways to get sodium, like celery, and so things like that we need to know as individuals. And that is, I feel like that's our jobs as holistic health practitioners, to give people these educated and informed choices so that they can make better decisions, so they can recognize when the body is in need of detoxing. Because, and like Dr. you talked about earlier too, with the either constipation, but also diarrhea is a sign that you may need to detox. Because again, if you're missing these noted nutrients within the body, something's off, or you may have ingested something that now has taken your digestive system to another level, and your body is trying to expel it, because that's what diarrhea is your body is trying to quickly eliminate those toxins out of your body. So if you are suddenly feeling that, these are things that you need to pay attention to and look into doing a detox. And it doesn't have to be an all out, full on 30-day, intensive thing. It could just be doing a simple elimination of those common things that you eat, and seeing what's causing this reaction, and fasting from that, and it could be sometimes, like you talked about at the top of the show, even environmental things, because we don't take into account that if we are in a toxic work environment, a toxic home, a toxic relationship, stepping away and detoxing from that space, taking your vacation, you work hard, you earn your vacation time, take your vacation time. That's why it's there. Pay time off, your PTO. And when you're sick, don't go to work. Take that time off so your body can heal. That is a form of detoxing. So I know when most people hear detox, they only think about not ingesting certain foods, but it's also the things that you listen to, detoxing from certain music, detoxing from social media, it's an all-encompassing thing. So knowing that if you're constantly irritated by seeing all this hyperbole and propaganda on the news and TV, turn it off. Don't read it. Don't look at it. Detox from it. Take some time away from it. So those are some of the signs that you should look at. First and foremost, that I think we tend to overlook, because it's become normal to just do these things and just say, okay, well, that'll go away, or just learn how to live with it, and that's not common. I mean, that's not healthy. And so we need to, be mindful of that.
It's amazing how our bodies will automatically gravitate or pull us to some things that are healthy. It's like at the end of I'm not doing these salt and pepper chips. When you said celery, it's funny because I was in the store and I saw the celery, and then I had a crave for the celery. So my replacement of the chips became celery. I was putting tomatoes and celery and carrots and stuff in a salad, and going with the balsamic vinegar, just so I still had my salt taste, but it wasn't those chips. And the avocado, I was like, I like avocado, but that just became something. I want avocado, and I'm doing celery and tomatoes and avocado. I was like, I want some more avocado. So it's interesting that the body can almost lead you to what you want and what you need. I think I cut you off, Dr. You. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, but it's good, because I was actually going to kind of accent a little bit of what you were saying and what Ketna was saying, in terms of, a good principle to remember about detoxing is when you remove something, you want to make sure that you replace it with something else that's healthy or something else that's positive. Even if we're talking about environment or we're talking about energy, we still want to make sure that we're putting something that's good in there, because that's what's going to get rid of the space that we have for all of this negative stuff. So if we're watching the news every day and we're inundated by those toxins, because that's actually a toxin also, because it elicits negative emotions, and those negative emotions turn physical in the body. So if we want to detox from that, not watching it is one thing, but many people may experience, I'm not watching it, but I'm still thinking about it. So how do you stop yourself from thinking about it? You have to replace that with something else, another activity, something else to take that time to focus on. Something that needs more attention in your life. Maybe even getting out in nature, going out to a woodsy area, sitting by the river or by a lake or by some type of water, or going to the mountains. It may be different things for different people, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're also taking the time to build and strengthen those healthy habits, those healthy environments. Some people use incense in their homes to clear the energy. All of those kind of things like that are also important when we're talking about detoxing.
Yeah, it's like the power of environment, smell, touch, feel. Everything creates a different emotion or sense or something within ourselves. So to be able to know yourself well enough to select those things, like I'm a water baby. And so whenever I'm stressed, I like to go be by the water, the river. I have a water fountain in my bedroom that I turn on every night just to listen to water to calm. And it's like, it's powerful to know yourself and check in and do those wonderful things. I have another question when we're talking about kind of fast detox. It's like, amongst my many detox and fasts, I did a 21-day water fast. And again, lost a lot of weight and, had a lot of good healthy benefits for that. But I also, I was sharing with Ketna when I was doing it, I had some other experiences of seeing things, hearing things, that it was like, wow, I'm more alert. It's like I hear birds chirping that I wouldn't pay attention to. It's like the alertness that happened to her. Can we kind of speak to some of the things, those positive benefits that we get from those type of experiences?
Well, again, like when we talk about, helping the body to reset and readjust itself, it brings us back into alignment with where our bodies are supposed to be. And so if you're thinking about, like with water fast, if you think about the properties of water is a cleanser, water hydrates, and so when you're just ingesting water and you're literally cleansing out the body, and you are hydrating your body, you're hydrating your cells. You're not focused on, your body isn't focused on digestion per se, because now it's not utilizing as much energy to digest your food. And so it makes you more aware. So your senses are heightened, your sense of smell, your sense of sight, your ears, your listening, your auditory senses are heightened. So things that you may not have paid attention to before are a lot more prevalent now, because your body is in alignment with that, and you're more present with that. And so, and that goes across the board with detoxing in general. I know it makes it hard. People think detoxing is hard because they focus on it being hard. And I am a huge proponent of believing, what you think about is going to expand. But if you think about how beneficial this is going to be, what you're actually trying to accomplish within your body is going to make that process a lot more easier. And when you start seeing the mind clarity, the weight coming off, you actually feel better. You're sleeping better at night. your mood is elevated. Because I find too, in my practice in dealing with a lot of African American women who are dealing with anxiety and depression, a lot of times if they just do a general detox, they notice that their mood is a lot better. They feel a lot elevated. They feel lighter, not just because they have expelled the waste physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. So it's detoxing is more than just, like Dr. You said, it's more than just that physical process, and learning how to replace those toxins and negativity and things like that with more positive things. And so that gave you the insight to see, oh wow, I'm not focused on not feeling good. Now I can hear the birds chirping, and they probably have been chirping all along, but your focus wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So it really opens up the mind, the body, and the spirit. And it's a process that we all should undertake from time to time. They normally say we should do it with the seasons. And I talked about this on the last show. I feel like we've gotten away from the cyclical nature of being in touch with nature. We've just become accustomed to, oh, it's going to be cold, it's going to be hot, it's spring, blah, 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 but not looking at the metaphysical attributes of these seasons, but also how it affects us in our bodies and in our minds, And so when we detox, we're releasing those past things from that last season, be it the actual season itself or that season of your life. It could be that job, it could be that relationship, it could be those excess pounds. You know what I'm saying? So, and I say that as someone who was once 230 pounds myself, but it took me detoxing certain individuals out of my life, certain locations, certain foods, certain attitudes, to see a healthier mindset, to see a healthier physical body. And I think that's what, is important for us to really, really focus on, and to utilize the tools that are around us, and not think that one is expensive, because it's not. And two, it's challenging because it's only challenging if you allow it to be, and if you believe that it's going to be that. But if you set that in your mind, that you and setting obtainable goals, because that's the thing. Most people hear detox and they think, oh, I got to do 30 days and I can't eat this and doing that. And there's so many different ways to help your body detox. So, that's something to think about.
Yeah, I love the obtainable goals. It's like, because most of my endeavors have been long-term things, but I was looking for large results in fast pace, which might not have been the best choices, but at the same time, it was good for me in where I was in my season of healing just across the board. When we were talking about being healed from cancer, we're talking about being healed from toxic relationships, which is why I moved into the work with domestic violence. But even then, as a practitioner dealing with people in domestic violence, you take on a lot of the people that you're working with, energies and spaces, and knowing how to detox from the things I do at work and helping other people. Just like, we don't look at that holistic, okay, now I got to take care of me, because the best help you, I have to be in a good space. And now that, I am empathic, so I'm going to feel your hurts. I'm going to feel your pains. How do I release, let go, and be able to do what I do? So with that said, what are some things where we can do it? Some suggestions on some short terms, practical things that we could do that doesn't require 21 days, 40 days, 30 days of action. What are some short-term things that we know, okay, this works for this, and this is just the 2-day things, and this works for that? What are some go-to things?
Well, for those who are on Facebook, check out Collective Health Initiative. Check out our page on Facebook, Collective Health Initiative. And you'll see we have an upcoming 7-day detox that we're promoting that's starting next week. So this week, this show is definitely dedicated towards, promoting, encouraging you to be able to do that. And there's a flyer that is or a graphic flyer that's on our page that you can check out, that has the basic protocols of things to avoid, things to incorporate, and those things can help and make a world of a difference in a 7-day time span. Now, in terms of what I utilize aside from that, I also utilize therapeutic herbs. And some therapeutic herbs that I utilize and may go towards include things like aloe or senna, which works with the intestinal tract. They have like a natural, quote unquote, laxative kind of an action, so it helps to expel toxins that way. That's a really, especially if you're looking to kind of like get rid of something quickly in the intestinal tract, even digestive upsets and things of that nature. Those are some great go-to herbs, for that kind of thing. And for general blood cleansing, sometimes I'll use these things, or I'll often use these and recommend these herbs in conjunction with the food changes, in conjunction with the energetic changes, the mental changes and shifts that I would go through during the detox process. I'll name maybe 3 herbs today. One is dandelion. Dandelion is excellent. Very good cleanser for especially the liver. If you're talking about, you could use either the root or the leaves. Great cleanser for the liver, helps to get a lot of excess acid out of the body. Another good one is burdock root. Burdock root is almost similar to dandelion. It's a little bit more on the bitter side. Another great cleanser for the liver, for the lymphatic system, and it's also a good booster for the immune system as well. And it's a great thing to help to clear up anything with the skin. That burdock is excellent. There's so many different other herbs that I can name, but the last one that I'll name on this broadcast anyway for the moment is milk thistle. Milk thistle seeds. This is often sold as a supplement in the herbal stores or the health stores. You can utilize these. This is another one that helps out, especially with liver concerns. But very good. Even those in combination can be very useful for general detoxing support.
Okay. Dr. Yu, I appreciate and love that you give us these herbs, but one of my questions to you is, so when I go get these herbs, how do I buy them? How do I prepare them? How do I use them to make them beneficial for me? What are the processes in using these herbs?
Well, using herbs is really a matter of preference in most cases. It's offered in many different forms. So you can buy the herbs themselves. If you actually know the herbs and you know how to harvest them, of course, you can do that yourself. They're all perfectly safe, generally speaking. So, many people know dandelions, have dandelions maybe growing in their neighborhood, in their yards. If you trust your environment, you can pick that yourself. For dandelion leaves, you can eat them, incorporate them into salads, wash them well and incorporate them into your salads. That's one way to use it. You can also make them, if you're buying them, and you're utilizing, let's say, like the roots and things like that, you can boil them and make them into an herbal tea. Typically speaking, like about 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon combined of those different herbs will make you about like 1 cup of herbal tea. So you're going to take those, you're going to put them in water in a pot, you bring it to a boil, you turn it down, let it simmer for about 15 minutes, and then you strain the herbs out. You may also see sometimes they're available in tea bags. And if you're going to grocery stores, health stores, herbal stores, sometimes they'll have little simple detox teas and things like that. They're not as strong as if you get the herb itself, but you can still utilize them. Sometimes they'll have them available in capsules. So if you go and you prefer capsules, sometimes there are formulas that are already made, or you can buy those individually in capsules as well. And Also in tincture form, which is like the dropper bottles. You can do that as well. Again, sometimes they have them already mixed, maybe with some other herbs and formulas, or you can buy them individually. You can mix it yourself, usually like about 30 drops of, the tincture is kind of like the standard in like a very, very small amount of water, like about 2 ounces of water, or a quarter cup of water, shot glass full, put 30 drops, and you drink that, and you could do that a few times a day, about two to three times a day.
Thank you, thank you. That is very helpful. It's like I know a lot of times we have this information, but to me, I just want to make sure that anybody that just picks up our channel and look at our station can go, hey, look, this is how I do it. It's all about empowering people, but also to put out there, Dr. U is an herbalist. So if you have questions, reach out to Dr. U and say, hey, I want to try this herb. I want to do this, or I want to try that. Reach out to our practitioners as a whole and see what we're specializing in, and get that assistance that you need, because, self-empowerment is also about getting the necessary and well-informed help, so that what we're doing isn't just making it up on our own. There are people here that actually have the skill set to help you utilize that.
I want to add too a couple of things, Precious, with that, because like I said, people just think about detoxing their physical bodies and ingesting herbs and certain foods and things like that. But you could also assist your body in detoxing. And as a massage therapist, this is something that I try to really implore upon my clients. And even in my practice, I only use natural oils in my massage practice. So that's something that you could replace your commercial lotions. If you really look at your body product, your personal care products, and read the labels, there's more toxic chemicals in those products than anything else that you may be actually ingesting inside of your body. And your skin is your biggest organ of elimination. So you have to think about what you're putting on your skin, and what your liver, which is another big detoxing organ, has to do to eliminate that from your body. So replacing your commercial lotions with natural moisturizers like coconut oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, sunflower seed oil, even olive oil, which is really great for melanin skin to use on the body. That's another great way to assist your body in detoxing. There's another tool that you could use. It's called dry brushing, and actually taking, they have different methods, sisal brush, sisal cloths, and you get the brush and you brush starting from the feet, brushing in a circular motion towards the heart. And you do that going feet up to the body, to the trunk, to the arms. You always want to go towards the heart. And that's another great tool to use to help eliminate the toxins off of the skin, but also eliminating some of the toxic products, even your dishwashing liquid, your laundry detergent. There are a lot of great plant-based alternatives now for these chemical-laden products that can assist you in your detox. So you have to think about what's the point of ingesting all this great food when you're still putting toxins on your skin and your body and in your environment. Even the Glade plugins, certain candles are using these fragrance oils that are not good for you once they are burning. They smell great, but we want to use more natural products in our homes and in our environments. And even having plants, plants actually synthesize the air and get rid of some of these toxins for you, so they create more oxygen in your atmosphere as well. So these are other tools that you could use to assist you in consistently detoxing if you're not doing a specific detox, so that you are assisting the body in its natural detox process all the time.
Can I add something to that? I wanted to just touch on the dishwashing liquid, because that's something that I noticed some time ago. Sometimes back in the day, before I started utilizing more natural products, I would buy things like, and I'm not going to name any name brands, but I would buy certain dishwashing detergents, and I would use it I wash my dishes, and then I noticed that the dishes still smell like the detergent that I was using. And I'm like, if the dishes still smell like that, that means that that's still on the dishes that I'm utilizing. That
Wow.
means that if I'm putting food on that, there's a chance that that might be leaching into my food as well. So what I started doing as an alternative to that is I would buy the unscented ones, and then I would get essential oils, and I would add some drops of essential oil to the whole bottle of the unscented dishwashing detergent. I shake it up, and now I have scented dishwashing detergent with a natural oil that's not going to be as harmful for my body, that's not going to stay on as a residue, for your dishes. So just some food for thought on that element as well. Great point.
That's something I hadn't even considered. And it's like in my transitions, it's like I'm doing healthy things, and it's like I don't put soaps on my body, but I have a specific brand that I'm loyal to in dish soap, because it breaks up the grease really well,
Yeah.
and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, and one of the appeals to me is the scent, and yeah, now I have to rethink that process even. So great piece of information right there, Doctor.
Thank
All
you.
right. It's like I keep the questions going, When we do our fast spiritually, what are some things that are real good to help invoke that sense of awareness and calmness and alertness that we could use for that?
Well, again, from my standpoint, I find essential oils to be helpful. There are many different essential oils because the scents, they go directly to the brain. The brain is responsible for your emotional state. So essential oils can be very impactful in that way because they can have a direct influence on how your brain is processing different emotions. So some of the things that tend to be more correlated with having more calming types of actions on the body, for lack of a better term at the moment, are your flowery types of scents, the floral scents, things like lavender, chamomile. There's one I offer called helichrysum, which is very good in that regard as well. You also have some things that are kind of like more grounding, balancing types of scents, like a vetiver. Vetiver is very good because it gives you kind of like it almost, if for those of you who are familiar with the fragrance body oils, it almost can put you like in the mind of maybe like an Egyptian musk or something of that nature. Where it just kind of has that even kind of meditative tone. Like a frankincense and myrrh. Those are some things like that that can help with kind of clearing, the mental state, helping to balance out your emotional state and things of that nature as you're going through this process. One other one that I'm going to mention that I found to be very effective is Clary Sage. Very good oil as well. These oils you can take, you can utilize them if you have a diffuser. For those who are more familiar with essential oils, there's an apparatus or a device which is called an essential oil diffuser. You can take maybe about 3 drops of those oils, one oil at a time, or 3 drops combined of whatever oil you want, and place it in the diffuser and let that mist out. You can take the oil, you can put it in a carrier oil, meaning like any type of oil like that you would use for cooking or something like that. Uh, Same thing, about 3 drops to maybe about a teaspoonful of oil, carrier oil, teaspoon to a tablespoonful. Rub that in your hand. You can rub it on your body, rub it on your face, underneath your nostrils, so you get that scent, and the oil start to kind of like basically embrace your being, for lack of a better way of putting it. So those are you can also drop the oils in water, and use the water as a mist over certain areas that you're going to frequent or be in. Many different ways that you can go about utilizing the essential oils, but they can be very impactful.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Sister Ketnu, is there anything that you want to add to that? You're going to let him
Yeah,
stay with that?
yeah, definitely. And when you are talking specifically about a spiritual fast, first of all, you want to set your intention. Why are you doing this spiritual fast? Are you looking to heal something? Are you asking for guidance? Are you just need some inward reflection time? That would be the first thing. And then, then setting that time up and saying, what is the objective? I'm going to fast for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 30 days, whatever. And what does that look like? Does that mean you are refraining from social media? Are you not watching TV? Are you, not ingesting certain foods? Are you going to fast from dinner to dinner or lunch to breakfast or whatever it is, setting that intention. And then looking at doing something like meditation or prayer or whatever it is that resonates with your faith, doing that as a part of your spiritual fast, and being consistent with that, setting a schedule, and that helps you to stay consistent with that so that you're not veering off. And then if you do veer off, giving yourself grace. I think we tend to beat ourselves up a lot about not staying on task with these things, but you're not giving yourself accolades for even initiating the process, because it's not something that's very easy to do at first, especially if you've never done it before. So, those are some easy ways to do that. You know what I'm saying? Even journaling, taking that time to journal about what it is that you are looking to release, and then finding something that's going to replace that thing that you're looking to get rid of and detoxing and fasting from. So, it's important to know why you're doing it and not just doing it to do it, and then being attached to the outcome, and so that you can see yourself through it, and even actually finding an accountability partner. That's why fasting and things like that, like you talked about in the church, it tends to be a lot more successful because you're not doing it by yourself and you don't feel isolated or alone. So even if you tell a really good friend and say, hey, I'm doing this spiritual fast, I need you to hold me accountable. So check in on me. How's that going? Don't beat me up about it. Well, you said you was going to do blah, blah, blah. Say, okay, well, you said you fell off today. How does that feel? Why did you think that happened? How can I hold space for you so I can help you achieve your goal? So those are some of the things that I feel like are important to help people on their spiritual fast, so that they can stay steadfast in that, and so that they can see the desired results that they're looking for.
Great. Creating the environment, celebrating those small successes so that we can look at them and see how great our successes really are, and not beating ourselves up. Just detoxing from your own thoughts, is an empowering move to make. So I'm really grateful for the information and what we've talked about and discussed here today. I know it's going to be helpful to our community at large, as we reach out and give back and uplift and support one another. So that's what we're here as the holistic HMO, to do all of these wonderful things. I want to acknowledge Sister Weaver and Sister Muhammad, who's flowing in the chats with us today. Thank you all for flowing with the chi. It's great to see you all here. As always, we welcome any of your questions. You can put them in, and even if you're watching this broadcast as it replays, put your questions in, and we're going to come back and answer them. We're going to make we're having our own detox again. So we want you all to join us June the 15th through the 21st, and go through the detox with the chi, and, have a community of support.
March.
Next week.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
March
saw two
8th.
different dates. March the 8th through the 15th. Thank you. I'm looking at an old flyer. That's where I messed up. All right, thank you. March the 8th through the 15th. That's our detox. Join us, and like he said, next week. So we we right here. We ready to go. We have like 2 more shows for this season. So make sure you put out any ideas, any topics, any things that you want us to discuss, so that we get you in this season. Also, we have the Gullah Geechee Herbal Gathering taking place. And I'm going to let Ketnu give you the update on what's happening with that, so you can know how to be plugged in and do what you need to do.
Yes, thank you so much, Sister Precious. The Gullah Geechee Herbal Gathering is a herbal conference for Black and Indigenous herbalists and beloved community that I founded last year. We are going to be on our 2nd year this year, March 27th, and we're going to be down in Johns Island, South Carolina. That's right outside of Charleston. But we're also going to be streaming the conference live via Hopin. We are almost sold out of in-person tickets, so I'm so excited about that. So, but don't be alarmed. You can still join virtually. There's plenty of virtual tickets left. So go to GullahGeecheeHerbalGathering.com and get your tickets. There's 12 amazing workshops. There's going to be an artisan marketplace, both in person and online, so you can shop with our amazing vendors. And this is a day of empowerment, education, and preservation of an amazing culture, Gullah Geechee heritage. So thank you so much for your support so far, and our amazing sponsors, including the C.H.I. Thank y'all so much, and we look forward to seeing you there, either in person or virtually.
Thank you all for flowing with us today. We look forward to seeing you next week. This has been the health class you never had.
Peace, everyone.
Peace and blessings.